Yo, it's your boy Captain coming at you. We your boy today? No, it's getting worse. Look, this is a Dark Souls Diary 23. It's gonna be less ranty than yesterday, probably. Okay, gonna be more recappy because we just got some stuff done today. To be fair, like only half this, only half the stream we got something done, but we did get something done, and I actually it was one of those times where I ran out of time. You know, I like it's time for me to stop, and I'm like, oh, I just want to keep playing. I finally feel like I'm getting somewhere, and I want to just keep going. But as time does, it runs out. So so we did have to stop. But I think we got it was really two areas, but three things. Am I gonna count? Am I gonna count again today? I don't know. But we did a meme that I didn't know was going to be a meme. Then we went through the Anor Londo Golden Door. Then we got thrown in jail. Those are the three things that happened. That's as far as we got. So that's what I'll cover today in our diary and our discussions. Might be, oh, I'm scared to say it. It might be a shorter video because I'm running late, like really late somehow. But also just because I think it's just not too much to go over. But we'll see. It should be like a chill commentary. Like, let's go over what we did today. Kind of like come back down after the rant from yesterday, which I really felt better afterwards. Come back down from the rant and just kind of like enjoy the story, enjoy the thoughts and what happened today. So but I don't know, the first part might be a little bit ranty to be fair, because the first thing we did was the meme, and I wasn't trying to do a meme. Took about half of our play session, half the stream. All right, I think I've talked about it. I think somewhere in the rant we talked about it, but I need to go to the catacombs at some point, and my big bonky hammer is too big and bonky, and I can't swing it in the catacombs. So I need to get a new weapon. So I've been on a quest for a new weapon to work on while I'm doing other things, right? Because you got to build up souls, and you got to bank the souls in the weapon. You can't hold on to them, despite what some people who are really good at the game in my chat were telling me. I proved it by the end of the stream. I cannot hold on to a lot of souls for a long period of time. It's just not something that's gonna happen. I'm gonna lose them. Screw you, Loki. But so I was like, all right, well, I have a good amount of souls. You know what? Actually, I'll tell you what. There was like a little bonus start, and this is kind of what set us on the path. I thought I was going to go to Dragontown. People told me I missed something at the Dragontown door, and I tried to go to Dragontown, and I missed a ladder, and I climbed the ladder, and there's like a stupid red ring which boosts your attack when your health is low, and that's it. You still can't get into Dragontown. I was trolled. People lied to me. So then I was like, well, what do I do now? I had like 8,000 souls or something from killing the dragon. So I'm like, well, that's enough to like invest into one of these weapons I'm trying to build, right? So we should do that. This started us on the path where I was like, well, do I go for the axe or do I go for the fist? The axe or the fist? I was going back and forth. I was like, the axe is probably, the better choice. It's probably the more practical choice. I like axes. It has like a ranged attack. That seems cool. The fists seem like a lot more fun, and they scale off strength, which is my Unga Bunga build is. And I don't know, it sounds really fun to punch a skeleton, right? Because, that's what you've been going. You've been in the tight quarters, you can be punching skeletons. So I went back and forth, ultimately decided on the fists. And so I upgraded them. Come to find out, the fists take like 0 souls to upgrade. So we still practically I think we still had 8,000 souls. because it's literally 100 souls. So and you only upgrade it 5 times. I was like, well, I already need the big Titanite, and I still have a lot of souls. Why don't I just get a few more and finish this off right now? Because it's not like I can leave and come back because I'm going to lose all my souls, right? I'll at least farm up. I'll beat these dragons up again. You know, I'll beat these dragons up a couple times, and then I'll buy a bunch of large Titanite from the guy, and I'll just upgrade it myself as we go. Right? Because you can upgrade at the bonfires, but you can't buy Titanite. So I went and we farmed Titanite. I got sick of killing the dragons after the other one because they scream really loud. And so I just went to the big guy and was like, how much can I buy? And I bought some, and then we like farmed silver knights. And then I came back and I bought some more, and it took a long time, and the guys with the big shields aggravated me, and I played like a little poorly, and I was just getting mad because I was like, I don't like farming. It's annoying. I don't want to be running around beating up enemies I've already beat up, like having trouble on enemies that I don't even need to be having trouble with, when I could just be doing something new and cool. Instead, I'm stuck here farming because I need to be next to this guy to upgrade the thing because he has a Titanite. Then we bought the Titan. So this took like half the stream. This took like half the stream. We finally farmed up enough Titanite. And then, again, it's only like a couple hundred souls to level it up. So once I had the Titanite, I was like, well, why don't I just level it up right now? And then I just needed 5,000 more to ascend it to the Dragon Fist. The hell is it called? Dragon Bone Fist or something? The Ascended Fist weapon, right? Using the soul of the Iron Golem. Like, it's a super important deal, right? Ascended weapons. So I went out and farmed more souls. Went around and killed those big giants that I was having trouble with again. Farmed more souls. Ascended the weapon. I'd also like to complain that yesterday I ranted about the axe not being able to be ascended because it was the wrong type of axe. Today, it was the right type of axe. Today, when I went to the menu, I could have ascended that axe. And I almost did, just so I'd have to stop farming souls. But I was like, no, we need to commit to... We committed to the fist. I did ask again. Some people were like, do the axe, dude. This is stupid. And everybody was like, yeah, let's do the fist. So we went and farmed, did the fist. I have no idea why the axe was okay today, but wasn't okay yesterday. We went to the same menus. We saw the same things. Today it was on the menu. Yesterday it was not. I don't know. Maybe I needed to turn the game on and off. Maybe I needed to sit at a bonfire. Maybe I needed to eat breakfast. Who knows? Somebody with the esoteric bullshit knows, but not me. But anyway, so I farmed up the stuff. I made this fist. It looks kind of, it's only one, and so it looked kind of dumb. I had like a shield and a fist, but I was ready. Like, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna have some fun. What are we gonna do? And then I decided, all right, because people were like, maybe we should go to the Blighttown Secret. Maybe there was a couple different places we could go, and I was tired of dealing with menus. I was tired of like dealing with all this farming and stuff. We're right next to Anor Londo door. I can warp at this bonfire, right, to be even closer to the Anor Londo door. I know that's a guaranteed one. I actually know where that golden door was. The other two I didn't see before the cutscene when we put in the Lord Vessel. Like, I know where it is. Let's just go in there, see what's there. If it sucks or whatever, we'll leave. So put on my fist. And I've got like my boar helm, and I've got, like just like a chest plate. I've got the hollow soldier chest plates because it's the most barbarian thing I can get because it shows like a lot of skin. So it looks like it's just a chest plate, right? And the rest is, I think it's got shoulders, but our midriff's exposed because we don't care, right? And then I got some pants on that because I couldn't find like a skirt. I wanted like a plate mail skirt or something silly like that. But so I look ridiculous with my fist and my shield. and there's a one guard on the way from the bonfire to the golden door, and he's a big giant dude. And I'm like, all right, let's try the fist out. Let's hit. I know how to deal with these guys, so I should be able to hit him a few times. And I hit him a few times. It did jack shit. It did jack shit, dude. It did jack shit. Ascended weapon. Now, the fist itself never did that much damage. But I mean, this is the Ascended Fist. It scales off strength. I have a strength build. This should do something. It didn't. I hit him a few more times. I hit him more times. And then I was like, he's going to kill me. You can't just... I can't just perfect... These guys like have some big attack patterns that have some really lingering hitboxes. I can't just sit around and whack on him. And I was like, you know what? I left. I was like, you know what? It's fine. Big guy, big giant guy. You know what? Maybe we just can't punch those guys. It's fine. Let's go in the door. Let's find the new stuff. And it does go to a new area. It didn't come up. I even checked the VOD. It didn't come back up and say anything about like new area. But it is a new area. It's like I think it turned out to be a study, like a library. There's a bunch of books, but I thought it was a chorus place first because it had like book stands and then pulpits, which you see often for singers or preachers or I don't know. So I was trying to figure out what kind of place this was. It was obviously a place of high culture. It had weird sculptures and stuff. Unga Bunga doesn't understand culture, but I saw it. And it turns out I think it's a library, so I think it was all just book-related stuff. Pulpits and the singing note stands. I don't know what those are called. But, they also work for books, right? So I think that's what it turned out to be. And then when we finally did get a name popped up when we got thrown in jail, it was called the Duke's Archive. So I don't know if the whole area is called the Duke's Archives. I don't know. It apparently I was still in Anne Orlando, but it was a very different area in Orlando. Anyways, we go in there, and before we even get to all the books and stuff, there's like these hallways of fancy sculptures, right? You're entering into a cultured area, and you walk up to the door that used to be the golden door you couldn't see through, and now it's a big hallway, and at the end of the hallway is a pig. A big pig, and I'm wearing the fanged boar helm, which is kind of funny. But it's one of those armored boars just staring at me, and I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna go well. Because it's a hallway, right? How are you gonna dodge the charge? And I remember that thing killed me so many times back in Undeadburg or whatever it is. But I was, you know what? I decided that I was gonna walk through. I was gonna be tough. I'm gonna parry it. I saw somebody parry it in a video. I'm going to parry this because I have a shield on. I might as well use it, right? So I slowly walked up to it like the cool badass that I am. And as soon as he moved, I panicked and parried. Which was way too early. And he ran me over. But luckily, we're a lot higher level now. And he didn't kill me. So I took an Estes. And I punched him. I got my big... super uppercut, where you read the description of this fist, man, and it says it has a super uppercut, and so I super uppercutted him. Did 90 damage. It did not. It did. The health bar went boop. And that's the big hit. That's the big hit. The regular hits are like 20 something damage. I just want to put, like, I looked at my stat sheet later, and it said my R1 swing was like 100 something, maybe 140, maybe. I can't remember. It was the 100s, in the 100. If I put on the Smo Hammer, my regular build, it's 600. Right? So we're doing a lot less damage. If I hit things with the Smo Hammer, it usually does at least 400 damage. I've seen it do 700 damage. We're doing 90. These pigs have a lot of health. But, so the fist... Okay, so what's the advantage of the fist? It actually attacks very quickly, and you have a lot of, like... flexibility. Like it's really easy to punch and shield, right? It feels like you're playing a much faster, more action oriented game because you have a lot more flexibility. You have a lot less animation commitment unless you try the big uppercut or something. But we are just running around slapping this boar's ass because just push, 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 just like doing no push, push, no damage. Just slapping his ass, and he's turning around in this hallway trying to hit us. But he attacks kind of slow, right? So you can kind of just walk around him and slap his ass, and then he's trying to turn around to hit you. And as long as you kind of stay, it's like the dragon rule. If you got right up behind him and really slapped him in the ass, he would kick you. He would back kick you. But if you stayed on his side, like he couldn't get to you. So I didn't take too many hits, and we slow. It took forever. It took forever to kill him. And then everybody's making fun of me for the shield. So I said, fine. You know what? The boar's over, but we are now the master beast. We are now beast masters. And I had a whip, so I put it in my other hand. So I had a fist and a whip. And you know what? There's another boar. You go like through an L bend, and there's another boar. I was like, you're right, it's time. I got the whip, I got the fist. We are gonna beast train this boar. I had more trouble on this one, but we did whip it. We slapped the boar's ass, and we whipped the boar's ass. We did everything you could ever want to do with a giant boar's ass. Believe me. And I managed to kill it with the whip. The whip did 10 damage, by the way. And was really slow and had a lot more animation commitment. But we killed it, and we were down. I had to chug so many S's to do this. It was a huge meme. It was totally dumb. Weirdly enough, once you get through the boars, there's a bonfire, and that's when you're in like the library area. And at this point, I was thinking I had made the wrong choice. At this point, I was pretty sure I'd made the wrong choice. I was asking people if I could undo it, and they were telling me, no, dog, you can undo it, but you won't get the soul back. I need to look it up to make sure, but I'm pretty sure they're right. I don't see why. I'm going to have to wait till New Game Plus to do the axe, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to play New Game. I think I'd like to, but I mean, the playthrough will be kind of done. It'll just be for funsies. It'll be like a funsy bonus playthrough, which I might do. This game's made me want to do New Game Plus more than any other game I've played, I think. So we'll see when we get there. But I mean, it'll be a long time. It'll be like once we've done everything. So I took it up. All right. So I said, you know what? Well, let's just try it a little bit more. Maybe the boars are just really good at, maybe they're just really strong to punches. So we went up. You pull a lever and you go up into the library, and there's all these crystal dudes that jump you. And we were like slugging them in the back alley, dude. We were like punching and kicking them and pushing them up against the wall. People got on to me for being the bully, being like the school bully taking their lunch money. But dude, we killed them. We managed to kill that whole room. It took a couple of attempts. But I did manage to fist my way through like 5 crystal sword boys and an archer. And I did it. We did it. It was really slow, and it was really painful, and it is not viable. You cannot. I just couldn't kill him fast enough. It would stun him and stuff, and I could kick him, and like I said, I had a lot of flexibility to guard and things. Like if I was punching one and the archer was shooting at me, I was still relatively safe because I could like punch twice and still block whenever the arrow came. Like it was surprisingly flexible. But you just can't. I don't think you can play the game doing that little damage because you can't really fight that many enemies at one time. And if it takes you so long to kill one enemy, right, more are gonna show up. Like they have this place set up so you need to kill this enemy before the guy over here gets to you, right? And then you need to probably have both of them done before the third guy comes. And so it's kind of a DPS check because you probably can't deal with 3 enemies at once, right? The game's really not set up to deal with groups of enemies because it won't be fair. Like they'll just all attack you at different times. They'll stun lock you. You won't be able to deal with it unless you have a lot of poise and you just tank the hits or something like that. So I just couldn't, like, I got in the next room and then guys were jumping me from all over. There was no real way I could pull them effectively to deal with one at a time. Like, if I had managed to pull one and get him around the corner and then, take his lunch money, I could, for the next 5 minutes, I could do it. But it was a pain. So I decided, all right, boys, we're gonna have to pull it. This has been a fun meme, but I need to. Daddy's gonna get his hammer, and we're gonna take care of this. And it went better from that point. It was still a very hard couple of rooms because there was a goofball dancing Dorcas who buffed the. People told me what happened. He buffs the enemies because they just one shot me out of nowhere. Like the archer would just one shot me, and I'm sitting there. What's going on? Why am I getting one shot all of a sudden? I have decent defenses. People told me the Dancy Magic guy buffed everybody. I forgot his name. We added an emote where he dances around. And I thought he would die and then not respawn because the other magic guys I've seen didn't respawn. He respawns. You got to deal with him every time. So it took us a few attempts to get through this room. But finally I got him down and I literally killed him and ran out and waited for the buff to wear off. And then it's kind of a slow process, but just dealing with the Crystal Skelly boys isn't a problem because I could one-shot them all with the hammer and I could take a hit or two of them. So it wasn't a big deal. It was a fun room to explore and check out and find the Skelly boys, and they had a goofy mimic that we could do, and there were some items to find. And it was pretty straightforward from there. You kind of climb up the tower, you go up another elevator, you climb up, everything gets more crystally, and then you're in a very tight corridor. And I said, guys, this hammer doesn't work in tight corridors. That's why we had to make the fist in the first place. And we found out the fist doesn't do what I had hoped it does. Luckily, there was only one guy in the corridor. And I tried to hit him a couple because I figured out how I could just swing my hammer so that it would hit somebody before it bounced on the wall. But Doofus like rolled backwards and started flipping around and stuff. And I said, I'm tired of this. And I just ran out of the hallway and waited for him to come out. And then I said, you know what? That was dumb on your part. Waboosh. So he was like an advanced crystal boy. And he was the only one in there. So we climbed up the tower, and then there's a boss door, and I'm telling people, dude, I'm real far from the bonfire. I've got, I got like 18,000 souls. It was pretty respectable. I could invest that into maybe another weapon because this one ain't gonna do what I want. People said, nah, go in there. You go in there, it's Seath the Scaless. That's the boss. It's, whoa, it's one of the guys. We heard about him. They talked about him. How he went crazy and stuff. And I guess that's what he did. He started turning everybody into crystals. He's a dragon, but I thought he was scaleless because he wasn't a dragon. Did he turn himself into a dragon? Who knows? Didn't get that far because he started crystallizing everything. And I have like a slow approach in this game, a pretty safe approach. I didn't just run in there and unga bunga him because I figured I couldn't one-shot him. So it's probably best to learn his moves and make sure he doesn't one-shot me. And he had a beam, and that was pretty easy to dodge, but it left crystals. And so I said, okay, all right, I can't go into crystals. They needed a horizontal beam, and that one caught me. And I got stuck in the crystals, and my little curse meter built up. And I was scared because I've never had that meter fill up. But man, it stopped right before and then went down. I was, okay, all right, okay. So the horizontal one's tough. About this time, I decided I wanted to try and hit him. But he started charging up a big one, and the crystals knocked me over. So, like, I can't get hit by him because it'll be troublesome. So he started charging up a big one, so I ran back. All right, I'll wait after this one and I'll get in. He filled the entire room with crystals. The entire play space was filled with crystals, and I actually lived through it. So I thought, oh, maybe you just have to have enough stats to tank a hit or two. I lived through it. I said, okay, I got enough stats. We'll be all right. The crystals stay on the ground a long time. And you know what happens? You go, ugh, and your health bar goes, foom. Then, you just wait. The crystals stay there, and your character decides to get up. And then you go, again. And you're dead. I was just dumbfounded. I just laughed. I was like, what was... Am I supposed to die? What do you do? Are you supposed to kill him before the third attack? Maybe I should have went Unga Bunga. And we respawn, and to my surprise, we respawned not at the bonfire we left, at a different bonfire. That's when it comes up and says the Duke's Archive, and I look around and I am in jail. The man has put me in jail. He killed me and he put me in. I don't even know how that works. I didn't even know that was possible. How did he like capture my soul? Did he put me in a bottle and take me to the prison? I don't know, but we were now in jail. And I ran through the thing and I didn't know what to do, and all the doors were locked because we were in a jail cell, right? But there's a snake there, and I couldn't talk to him. So I was like, "Sir, I'd like to trade you. You look like the jailer. Do you have the key? I'd like to trade you for the key." And he didn't respond to my attempt at conversation, so I decided to trade him a bonk. Which he gladly accepted and gave me the key after he was dead. And then I could get out. But that wasn't good because prison break. It goes to as soon as I open the door, it starts a cutscene. Oh no. And these snake guys. I'm already triggered because the last time I saw snake guys was Sin's Fortress. And that was not a good time. These snake guys run out and they turn on the phonograph. They start playing old records, but they have really bad taste in music because it was creepy, eerie sounds, and a door opened, and then squid monsters were unleashed. But that's apparently the contingency plan for a prison break is it unleashes the squid monsters. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm gonna have to deal with that, whatever. But I walk out, and then lizard men are running at me. And oh no, they're after me. But they're not. I hit one of them, and he just got up and kept running. And I was sitting there, why are the lizard men running? And then I see these squid guys coming up behind him. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run too. If the lizard men are running, I'm running. And I was running fast, and then they all went. The lizard men went up. The snake men, excuse me. The snake men went up the ladder, and I went up the ladder. I don't even think they attacked me, but they kind of looked like they were gonna, and I wasn't gonna take the chance at the top of the ladder. I said, "It's not big enough for all of us, boys." And I smacked them, and they died. And there's a door up there, but you can't get in, and you can kind of like you're in a. So the prison it's essentially like a round library. So imagine just a really like a huge cylinder that's just lined with books, but now it's prison cells in between the books. And so we had run all the way to the top, and you could kind of like drop down and do some platforming bullshit. I don't want to do platform bullshit. So I didn't think the squids could come up the ladder. The door up there was locked. Clearly, I'm going to have to do something. So I went back down. I thought maybe I could sneak around them. There was definitely some doors I didn't try. So I started trying some of them. And you can't sneak around. Eventually, those squid things come after you. And they're not really squid. They're like that weird Pokemon with the girl with the Pokemon head. So they're kind of like, they're like tentacle. They kind of look like monks, like they're wearing robes, but they're not robes, they're tentacles, right? It's like they're wearing, what are those snoozies, cozies? I'm too old for this shit. The snuggies, yeah, it's like a snuggie, except instead of big snuggie arms, it's tentacles. Instead of a snuggie tail behind you, it's tentacles. And then they have a hat that looks like they're wearing a veil, but it's all tentacles. And when they get close to you, they go, ow. And they move fast. They move fast. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm in the tentacles. And I leap attacked him, try to get to him first, which was enough, just quick enough, because they were raising their tentacles up. But they died in one hit, did like 700 damage. All right, we're okay, boys. I just got to hit them before they hit me. Took out quite a few tentacle monsters. and we were kind of okay. So I was exploring the thing and everything. It was pretty straightforward. Um, the only thing I tried I got all the doors open, got a bunch of keys, and everything was great. I even went back up to the ladder because the final little bit you go to the bottom and there's like gears down there, which is kind of odd, broken gears and stuff, really big ones. And then there's a bunch of them on the ground, I could take them one at a time when they were stuck on the trying to come up this stairwell, but I did not think I could take 5 at a time. You know, if I could hit them all at once, I could get them, but they're very fast. And I didn't want to get swarmed by them. So I'm like, okay, all right, let me go re-examine the upstairs because running into the middle of those guys isn't going to go well for me. And, you know, sure enough, if you explore enough around and get some keys, you can drop down back to where the guys turned on the music. And we bonked all those guys. And we got something. There was a chest there we got something out of. Do I remember what it was? No, but you know what we did get? We got, while we were exploring the jail cells, we got maiden outfit, which is the same as the dingy robes, which implies that that one firekeeper at Firelink Shrine that they threw in jail before her clothes got dirty, she was wearing the pure white maiden robes. So apparently a maiden died there, which will be more relevant in a minute. But we bonked all the snakes, turned off the music, and then the creepy things like went back into the jail cells. But you could see down there were still items and stuff. So I went down, I explored down bottom freely. It's not really down there. And I said, well, you know, I need to get to the back of that jail cell to see what's going on. Will the creepy things still attack me? And if you get close, they will, but only if you get close. So we were able to take them out one at a time. And there were 2 in the back. And they were crying. And they didn't attack you. And you had to hit them. They had extra health. You had to hit them twice. And I didn't really know what to do. I felt bad. Clearly something's not right with all this. It seems, right, there was some hint that Seath the Scaless was, these were his experiments that had gone wrong. Like, this is some kind of torture project he had done. And obviously these ones are crying. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put these things out of their misery. This is crazy. One, I'm thinking to myself, the only way to interact with things in this game is to murder them, so they drop stuff and you get their lore. But 2, I'm also like, man, this isn't right. These things aren't right. The way this world works, if I murder them, they might just respawn normal. You know what I mean? Who knows? So I murdered them, and they dropped a couple of spells, some pretty strong spells. I can't use them because I'm unga bunga. But if you read the lore on the spells, it tells you that these were the spells given to Guinevere's maidens. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, you mean these are, and then I remembered the maiden armor, right? And you know, like, you telling me these were Guinevere's maidens that went around and healed the knights in battle, because it was healing spells. So you get the idea that knights went out with Guinevere's maidens, and the maidens kept them alive with the healing spells, and the knights fought valiantly. And now they're turned into all these creepy tentacle things. And then you think to yourself, well, the robes and the veil, right? You get the idea, oh, this is like the dress of a maiden, just tentacleized. So it was sad, it was creepy, it was gross. But I guess at least we did some sort of justice. And there was one more item back. There was like another jail cell behind the things, and we couldn't open it. Didn't have no keys. Looked around, never did find the key. And Hat Boy, mystical magical Hat Boy, was back there, and he's like, "Oh, look! I've got caught again. Isn't that funny?" And it's funny because the last time he was caught in Sin's Fortress, where the snake guys were. He's like, "I've got caught again. Could you let me out?" And I was like, "Well, I'd like to, but I don't have a key." I looked for one. I never found one. So I guess you gotta. What you do find is the key. Oh, I think that's what was in the chest. The key to the big door at the top that you couldn't go in at the start. So I figured, well, I'm just gonna have to come back and try to remember to come get him, because I didn't have a key and I cleared everything in there. And that's about as far as we got. We opened the door, and I thought maybe I'd get back connected to where I was, because you gotta remember, I'm not where I died, but I can warp at the bonfires, so it's not I don't know if I could get back here, but I could warp out. But you open the door and you can see outside and it's all pretty and there's a big crystal sculpture that's probably not a sculpture and actually it's just crystal corruption. But it's very pretty, but it's like a whole new area. There's walkways and guys, and it's gonna be a lot like the barracks area in Orlando, it seems. So I decided, all right, well, I want to keep going, but this was gonna take me a while, so that's where I called it for the day. So, but it was, I don't know, it was very fun. It left me wanting to play more. It was really cool to me to get thrown into a prison after dying and just to die and wake up not at the bonfire you were last at. It was really something. It really surprised me. I'm always interested in the stories that it's trying to tell, like what was Seath doing with these maidens. We do know he went nuts, and he was doing experiments, but apparently he was doing more than turn people to crystal. And to be fair, I don't even know where I am. I don't. I mean, presumably because of all the books, I'm still in the same area, but you know, there's no crystals around here, so maybe this is, you know, some other sort of corruption or maybe we're really far away. I don't know, but it was crazy. So so that's my wrap up. Like I said, it was a much chiller wrap up. We still talked for way too long, but it was a much chiller wrap up. I mean, a much chiller recap today. Just kind of enjoyable what we did. But the first half was all meme that I didn't know was going to be a meme because now I just have these fists that I don't. Maybe I'll just level them up anyways, and we'll beat the catacombs with the fists for the meme. Who knows? Who knows? We did the meme. We went through the Anne Orlando Golden Door. We slapped some pig's ass. We got slapped by some crystal boys, which was probably the toughest part. I didn't have any trouble. I didn't die in the jail or anything. We fought Seath the Scaless, got owned, and he threw us in jail, and we made a jailbreak. It was a pretty exciting day overall. It was one of those days where you just really like Dark Souls. It's just like, oh, this is so cool. So much fun stuff's happening. I want to just keep going. I'm having a great time. But alas, it came to an end. Much like this video probably should. So, so thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the story, the recap, the chiller vibes today. And I hope whatever you're doing is good and fantastic, and you have a good rest of your day. And that's it. I guess I gotta be quick. I think with the YouTube videos, you just end them quicker. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you around. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.